I was pretty much interested when I was asked to come here to share with you how we attract and retain the talent in Accenture. When I was required for doing that, I immediately remind how Accenture attracted me in the past, and of course it was not pretty much complicated. I remember that I arrived to the Malaga University, and suddenly there was a huge queue of people waiting with a form, really excited because there was a really large US company setting up an office here in the PTA. And well, we only need to register, pass some tests, and whatever that is qualified will be joining the company. So I remember that I only do 2 questions, and by that time was the name of the company. They told me, of course I didn't know, I was in the university, so I was not taking care of a job yet. And the other one was, it's an unstable one. My thought was, if I work for them, I'm going to get some money at the end of the month. So this was all my concern. So yeah, I was in the university. So the point here was, okay, I remember that time and that moment with some kind of, but if I bring that situation right now, the reality is that if we were to do that today, it would be almost impossible to attract any talent. And not only to attract, but as well to retain. That is the fundamental problem. Because attract talent somehow could be a bit easy. The problem is, how do you retain the talent in your company? And from my point of view, there is only one way to retain the talent. And for you to retain the talent is you need to make that talent fall in love with your journey. Because at the end, this is a journey toward talent. And if you are not able to get that person, that specific talent to fall in love with the journey that you are proposing, at the end, this talent will be leaving your company. So, what did we do in the past? So in the past, if you think what is the goal of the company, all companies have just one objective, and the objective is to be sure that their clients are totally satisfied. So it's customer satisfaction. But in that point, our idea was, okay, if our objective is customer satisfaction, our goal is to make happy the customer, so the customer must be the center. However, after many times, we realized that is not the way. I mean, of course, the final objective is to make your customer happy. However, it's not putting the customer in the center. From our point of view, the way is putting our people, our talent in the center, taking care of them, and making our people happy. We will be able to get the objective that we are trying to get with our customer. And this is the reason because I put here the sentence from Richard Branson that more or less is telling pretty much the same. The important thing is not the objective. The important thing for our people is how you get the objective. And the way for getting that is taking care of our people. In the past, if you remember, the company used to attract the talent like, hey, I am a big company, and you should be proud because I'm offering you to work with me. So it was just a logo. It was just a name. That's all. However, a majority of you has said before that you work related to human resources and talent acquisitions, but if you remember your last 2-3 interviews, when you interview a candidate today, usually there are many questions, basic questions, like salary, position, work hours, whatever. But once that basic requirements are met, you already have an agreement. It's pretty normal, at least for the people that I interview, is okay, but what your company can offer to me? If I join your company, what are you giving to me? So it's a total change of what it was in the past. So with this new situation, years ago in Accenture, we decided to set up a different way to approach on how we attract and how we retain the talent in our people. Because, not in vain, talent is always looking for talent. They want to know that they are joining to a company that will be able to satisfy their needs to learn, to grow, to innovate. At this point, when you are trying to attract the talent, if you are not able to offer these people something different, something interesting, something that moves them internally, at the end, your company will be out of the list. So, even if you are a so good recruiter and you manage to convince the person to join your company, at the end, facts, no words, facts is what the people want. So the recruiter can convince the person, but if there are no facts after this conversation, they leave the company. So we all know that it's pretty much difficult to retain talent in our field, and I wish I will have the magic recipe for retain the talent, but I do not. So I can share with you things that we do in Accenture to retain, the better we know, the talent. And for us, it's essential that when the person starts with us, after that interview that we have tell how good we are, how many perks we provide, how wonderful it is to work in Accenture, for us it's mandatory that the person, from the first minute, as soon as open the door of the office, well now make a video conference, okay, but in normal situation, open the door of the office or just connect in a call, feels that the people surrounding is exactly equally talented as him or her. So that there are a lot of talent around to accompany that person in the journey and make that person grow together with us. So we really need that person feels something inside for that, because if not, whatever that you have seen in the point for attracting the talent start to lose impact. For us, it's something very relevant, the ecosystem, and this is the reason you have that slide here. It's not all about the company, it's not all about the job that we do, but it's as well what we do with the ecosystem that we are belonging to. For example, as you can see, we have relation with the universities, relation with boot camps, business school, relation with a lot of different institutions. And the reason because we have that relation is because having that kind of relation, we are able to offer our persons and our guys a different way to grow, a different way to innovate, a different way to design their own path for growing. Because we are using this kind of ecosystem as a network for making our people grow. If we go specifically for Malaga, we have many different options, And I just bring 5 in the slide, and I will highlight 2. One of them that is pretty much relevant for me, that is one of the last one, is the Innovation Institute Ricardo Valle. And the other one is for the San Telmo Business School. We were the first technology company of having a seat in the advisory council. So this is for us is like a really important milestone, because it was the first time that a technical company has a woman in this council. You can't make the people grow in a daily basis with your job, with your colleague, with your meeting in the office, but there is a key pillar for making people to progress. And this is training, mandatory. For us, training is critical pillar for making our people grow. But not any type of training, really high quality training. The training that we design in Accenture is pretty much designed by the best people who is working in the specific clients, and that define the learning path. I just bring a few figures. I think that is the only slide with figures that I have, and following the philosophy of doing more than saying. This is what we have invested in training during the last year. Around the world, almost $1 billion, and in Iberia, more than $26 million. We invest that in our people in order to be sure that our people is getting the training and they can grow in the way that they want, because things are changing, and the way that you need or the way that you can get your training is different for everyone. So we have tried to adapt the lifestyle of the training to the lifestyle of our people. We have formal, we have informal, we have virtual, we have presential, and our people can choose where, how, and when they want to get trained. And of course, we can do that based on digital platform. From these 3 the strategic alliance and so on, for me the most relevant, the one that is more relevant for me, is our training portal, that is my learning, because when I connect as an Accenture employee, there is an artificial intelligence engine behind that is suggesting me the different learning paths that are more relevant for the work that I'm doing currently in Accenture. I have been in Accenture for a very long time, so I started as a programmer. Right now I'm director, so my training needs are pretty much different since I started to now. So this engine is giving me in each step of my career or suggesting the learning path that is more appropriate for me. Even though at the end, it's all come down on the importance of understanding the culture of the people we interact with. To feel, to believe, to trust, these are essential principles that we must be able to convey in order to retain the talent. If not, we will not be able to. We all want to feel that we do has a purpose. This leads us to believe in the how and why of what we do, to finally trust that the path we have chosen is the right one. So, in our case of the way that we see, we believe that fostering this culture creates a work environment that makes the people want to stay with us. That we generate that engagement in our person for not to leave, and it's in our DNA to transmit to our people how important they are for us. That they are not part of a business or a company, what we want to transmit them is that they are essential parts of the culture that we are building together. This is our idea, and this is how we try to make our people feel. So, I opened this talk as a journey toward talent, but I think that after all of that, I will change the title to An Incredible Journey. That's all. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Antonio. And I'm going to have to limit it to one question so that if anybody's got one question, raise your hand quick. Going once, going twice.
Our presenter is allowed to ask.
All right.
Am I?
Yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
Antonio, so obviously we don't know each other too well.
I'm gonna let you do the mic.
Yeah. So Antonio, we don't know each other too well yet. What I wanted to understand is your success in the company. Would you define maybe any critical traits that you've possessed that have enabled you to become successful as you are today? What would you recommend to our colleagues?
Well, I think that there is not a specific recommendation or just one point. So at the end, it's just to try to feel since you wake up in the morning, try to live with this idea. I mean, from a cultural point of view, understanding that the people around you, what they are just looking for is exactly what you was looking when you was in that position, and that's the only way for you to progress in your career is to be sure that you are able to make progress the people that is working with you. So this is my key thought every day, and I think that as of now I'm happy on how this is going on with me.
Thanks. That's a great recipe. Thank you.
Yep.